Good morning, students. Today I am going to talk about, actually, this is a continuation of the talk of the previous covariance of electrodynamics. As you have already knew that covariance means time variation and space variation are on the same sheet. Let's observe that continuity equation, Lorentz gauge condition, and the equation of wave in potential form have been expressed in covariance form. And these forms are, if you can remember, are in this way: del mu j mu equals to 0. This is the equation of continuity. Equation of continuity. Continuity. And Lorentz gauge condition del mu k mu equals to 0. The Lorentz gauge condition. Gauge condition. And wave equation or something like this: del mu k mu equals to minus 1 by epsilon 0 j, where j mu is the four current density. This is four current density j mu, and a mu, you know, this is four potential. Four potential, you know. So these two equations, as you can see, these two equations are single equation. This is a single equation. This is a single equation, and this equation is actually it is a four equation. It consists of four equations because of this coefficient. I'm sorry, this coefficient must be different from mu. So this is mu. So this is the equation for wave. This is equation for of wave in nature. So we have derived these equations. Only thing is that the four current density and four vector potential have been defined. Four current density, you can see this was CA and phi. I'm sorry. Four current density of J by C and rho, and four potential laws CA and phi. First three component is the vector. First three component is the vector component of vector, and fourth component is the scalar part. So this was the four vector formulation. Now today we'll see how electric field and magnetic field can be described or can be expressed in this form. Now we know electric field E electric field E, you know, E can be written as minus grad phi minus del A del T. Now how you can express this E in terms of four potentials, four vectors. Okay. Now at first you can guess, or you can predict that E might be a vector. That means it might be a tensor of rank 1. Let us see how we can express. Let us express it in component form. Suppose Ex equals to minus del phi del x minus del CAX by del CP. I have just multiplied this term C with both numerator and denominator. You know, this is, you can write this minus del 1 phi minus, this is del 4 A, this is A1 basically. But both these terms are, you can write phi to be A4, del 1 A4 minus del 1 A4 minus del 4 A1. So there is a symmetry. Now if you can arrange this, I'm sorry, this A4 should be there, this should be there, this A1 should be there, because if you write in contravariant form then the signs are same, but if I want to write in covariant form, then what is happening, the sign of this thing is not changing. So minus del 1 A4 plus del 4 A1, del 4 A1. So I can write this thing, if I take plus in the first, then this can be written as del 4 A1 minus del 1 A4. There is a symmetry. I call this element to be F4 1 because 4 is first, then A1. Now you can see this from this arrangement that this cannot be a tensor of rank. This cannot be the element of tensor of rank 1. This has to be tensor of rank 2. In fact, it is a covariant tensor. I can express it in contravariant also, but I'll talk about this that contravariant from later. For the time being, if I express both these vector, I mean del operator and the 4 potential into covariant form, and this comes out to be this. In the same way, I can write, I guess you can do it in your own hand. Ey can be F for 2 and Ez can be written as F for 3. So all about this equation, we have done 3 components of this equation. If I can write in tensor form, I mean in matrix form, then this will be Ex, Ey, Ez. This can be written as del 4, sorry, del 4 A1 minus del 1 4. This will be del 4 A2 minus del 2 A4. This will be del 4 A3 minus del 3 A4. And this can be written as this is F41, F42, F4. So we get the scalar, sorry, the electric field, we get the electric field to be the component of electric field are equal to the component of a covariant tensor of rank 2. Now let us come to the magnetic field. Now, the magnetic field can be written as B equals to, B equals to del cross of A. Del cross of A. This can be written as we have seen already I J A. Del 1, del 2, del 3. A1, A2, A3. Since I am taking the negative sign, sorry, since I am writing in covariant form, there will be a minus sign. No? So in the same way, suppose I want to write, I'm sorry, one C vector. This can be modified somewhere by this. If you can multiply with C, it will be a C, because A1 is nothing but A1 equals to C A, right? It will be C A. Now, in the same way, if you perform, say I am taking X component, so this will be CBX. It will be equal to what? It will be minus del 2A3 plus del 3A2. So you can write it at once, del 3A2 minus del 2A3. This will be equal to F32. So CBX will be F32. In the same way, CBY will be equals to, if you can perform this thing, this will be F13, and CBZ, and I'm leaving it as an exercise to you. Do it in your own hand. Equal to F21. So in matrix form, the B can be written as, in the same way, CBX, CBY, CBZ will be equals to F into F13, F21. Now, from these expressions of F, you have already seen that if Ij is equals to minus Fji, right? Because if you change the indices, then the sign will be changed. You can see this. If Ij equals to what I would have written, del I Aj minus del J Ai, right? Is this equals to minus of Fji equal to what? Del J Ai minus of del I Aj. That means the tensor matrix is anti-symmetric. Anti-symmetric. Now, for an anti-symmetric tensor, you know the diagonal terms, say F11 equals to 0 will be equals to F21 equals, sorry, F22 equals to F33 equals to F44. So, for a tensor of rank, covariant tensor of rank 2, there are how many elements? 4 rows and 4 columns. So there are 16 elements. There are in total 16 elements of F mu nu, because mu runs from 1 to 2, 1 to 4, nu runs from 1 to 4. So there are 16 elements. Out of 16 elements, we have obtained 6 elements. And the other 6 elements, that means F1, 4, F2, 4, F3, 4 will be minus of this thing. And similarly the case. So there are 6 plus 6. So 12 components have been obtained and 4 diagonal terms are 0. So 16 terms are obtained. So we can write the tensor in full form, which is called covariant tensor of rank 2. So the field tensor, we define field tensor if mu nu. It is covariant field tensor which is covariant. If mu nu equals to del mu a nu minus del mu. If we can write this in matrix form, not all the tensors can be written in matrix form, but 4 by 4 tensor of rank 2 can be written. So this will be F11, F12, F13, F14. This will be F21, F22, F23, F24, F31, F32, F33, F34. Now F41, F42, F43, F4. Right? This is called field tensor. Now we can write this in electric field in terms of electric field and magnetic field. So electric field and magnetic field, these are basically a tensor of rank 2. We are going to express it in terms of a covariant tensor of rank 2. This tensor is called field tensor because component of this tensor is basically the electric field and magnetic field that we define. So now next time is now the terms elements F11, F22, F33. Again I am taking the advantage of board. 0, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 0, this will be 0. Right? Now you have seen that these terms have been evaluated as Ex, Ey, Ez. So this is Ex, this is Ey, this is Ez. And we know that this is a tensor, antisymmetric tensor. So if 1, 4 will be negative, so this will be minus Ex, this will be minus Ey, this will be minus Ez. Right? Now we are left with magnetic field component. Now magnetic field, if you can remember, then what are the positive quantities? F21, this was CBX, F component, this was CBX. Then F13, this was CBY. And F32, this was CBZ. And since it is antisymmetric, totally antisymmetric, so this will be negative of this. So this will be minus CBX, and this will be, I'm sorry, this will be CBZ. So this will be minus CBY, because this is, and this will be minus CB. So this constitute the field tensor covariant. Field tensor if mu nu This is field tensor of rank 2. Now you can ask the questions why I am expressing it in field tensor but in covariant form. I can express it in contravariant also. Yes, that is true. The whole derivation can be expressed in contravariant form also. For example, we have written this thing. So if you express it contravariant form F mu nu, then by comparison we can write del mu a nu minus del nu del nu a nu. This will be contravariant tensor of rank 2, contravariant field tensor of rank 2. Now these can be elements of this can be written in the same way. But what will be the elements? If you can perform this operation, I mean the same way, there are two ways of deriving this equation. First way is while we are deriving component of the electric field and magnetic field in contravariant form, covariant form, we can express it in contravariant form also. For example, I am giving one example. Say we have written Ex to be del 4 minus del 1 A4 minus del 4 A1. This is the original form, right? Now, if you erase this, then del 1, the negative sign will be absorbed because del 1 contravariant part is negative. So it will be del 1 A4 and del 4. This sign will not be changed because del city contravariant and covariant in both form it is positive. So this will be equals to del 4 A1. So you can write this to be F1. Okay. So what was F41? Now it will be F14. And similarly, EY will be F24 and EZ will be F34. And for the magnetic fields, if you can perform magnetic field, both the terms, for example, if you write this, if F21 was written as del 2 A1 minus del 1 A2. This is written. Now I am raising this. So del 2, if I raise this, then there will be negative sign. Del 2, if we raise this also A1, then there will also another negative sign. So both negative and negative positive. Here it is also the same. One negative for this, and additional negative is there. So this will be del 1 A2, right? So you see that you can write this thing as F1. So F1 and F21 are same. Similarly, you can show that other elements are also same. So if I complete this all the six components, then you will see that the contravariant component can be written simply by just writing E terms to be minus E. So contravariant field tensor of rank 2 can be written in this form. This is covariant and contravariant form can be written similarly 0 minus Cpx Cpy Ex minus Cpx 0 minus CBZ EY. This will be minus CBY CBZ 0 EZ, and this will be minus EX minus EY minus EZ. So this is contravariant field tensor of rank F min. So you see that only change is there, that the electric field is expressed in negative sign. As I have told, there are another way, as you have now accommodated, you are well equipped with the tensor algebra. You can transform a covariant tensor into a contravariant form. You know the rule. Say, for example, you have already known the second method of transforming this into this. You already know. Say A mu can be written as G mu in from covariant to contravariant. So for a second rank tensor, what will be the rule? You can guess F mu will be equals to G mu alpha G mu beta F alpha. So simply, what is this? This is nothing but metric. So simply from covariant to contravariant, you can transform by multiplying this equation by metric tensor twice. Now you see that the multiplication for two matrices, there are some rule. This indices and this indices has to be matched. So there is a way out. You can do this. G mu alpha if alpha beta G mu beta transform. If you perform this, and this will be G mu alpha if alpha beta G beta mu. Now you know what is the form of this in Cartesian coordinates. This is minus 1 0 0 0 0 minus 1 0 0 0 0 minus 1 0 0 0 0 1. So this is the metric tensor. Whatever form you write, it is always same. So it is alpha mu alpha. It is always same. You write it in covariant form. This is also the same. In Cartesian coordinate system, all the metric tensors are, whether it is contravariant or whether it is covariant, all same. Now what you have to do? You know this thing. Multiply with these two metric tensors, you will immediately get F. So this is the second step. I am leaving it as a task for you. Do it on your own hand. You will see that indeed the multiplication is there. So what we have learned here is that electric field and magnetic field is simply in the same footing, in the sense that these are the components of a tensor of rank 2. We can express the field, electric field and magnetic field, in both ways, in contravariant or in covariant, but it is indeed a tensor of rank 2. It is not a vector, as আমরা এতদিন জেনে এসেছি ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড ম্যাগনেটিক ফিল্ড ভেক্টর দিয়ে এক্সপ্রেস করা যায়, কিন্তু ফোর ভেক্টর নোটেশনে দিস ইজ দ্য ফার্স্ট ইন্ডিকেশন দ্যাট দিস আর নট রিয়েলি ভেক্টরস। দিস আর যখন ইলেকট্রিক ফিল্ড আর ম্যাগনেটিক ফিল্ডকে আমরা সেম ফুটিং এ দেখব, সেম ফুটিং এ দেখার কারণ হচ্ছে when we are expressing all the quantities in four vector notation, that means space and time is on the same footing, then electric field and magnetic field cannot be distinguished from one another, because the motion of an electric charge is equivalent to a magnetic field. So when we are considering electrodynamics, that means charge in motion, then electric field and magnetic field are on same footing. So in a Lorentz frame, which is moving with a velocity, if there is a static charge there, then for the observer on the moving frame, there is only electric field. Whereas for the observer in the rest frame, with respect to which the charge is moving, there is electric field as well as magnetic field. So basically, electric field and magnetic field are component of a tensor. This tensor is called field tensor. Our next aim is to be, you can guess what will be the next aim. Our next aim is to express the Maxwell's equations in 4-vector form. You know, there are 4 Maxwell's equations. Let us see how we can express these equations in tensorial form. We are taking first inhomogeneous equations. You know, there are 4 Maxwell's equations. 2 are homogeneous and 2 are inhomogeneous equation. We are taking inhomogeneous equation because this will lead to very simple form. Then we will consider the homogeneous equations also. So inhomogeneous Maxwell's equations, Maxwell's inhomogeneous equations. These equations are, you know, Gauss's law of electrostatic, del dot of E equal to minus rho by epsilon 0 plus minus rho by epsilon 0, and another is del cross of B plus 1 by C square del E del T equals to mu 0 J. These are 2 inhomogeneous equations. This is Gauss's law, and this is Ampere's circuital law with modification of Maxwell term, displacement current. So this is Ampere's law with modification. So these are the 2 equations. Now from the first equation, you can see that rho is 4th component of charge density or current density. But here is also current density, but not in the same form. So we transform these equations slightly in a form, modified this equation, slightly modified del cross of CB. You know, the electric field and magnetic field when are coming in the same field, magnetic field has to be multiplied with C. So one C will be reduced, so this will be del E by del CT, right? This will be equals to, if you multiply with this C, so this C equivalents to mu 0 epsilon 0, right? So this will be J by 1 by epsilon 0. You are multiplying with C square, then it will be 1 by epsilon 0 into J by C, because here we are multiplying with C and here is C square, 1 C. Now, you know, this is components of the 4 charge density or current density. So you see that the right hand side of this equation represent indeed the 4 current density. So the left hand side can be written as, say for the first this can be written as del 1 E1, right? Del 1 E x del 1 ex plus del 2 ey plus del 3 ez equals to, this is, if I express in current density, J4 by epsilon. Right. Now, if I write in, then this will also be J4 1 by epsilon 0, because fourth component for both contravariant and covariant, it has the same sign. Now here, now if we insist that the derivative are generally written in covariant form, you can write in contravariant form also, but generally we write derivatives in covariant form. If we do this thing, then this can be written in contravariant form, because if you write ex to be in covariant form and derivative in covariant form, then the result will be a tensor of rank 3, whereas in right hand side it is a tensor of rank 1. That means it is a vector. So we can write del 1 ex can be written as covariant tensor or contravariant. This can be written as contravariant tensor. Now the ex was the component of a contravariant tensor if what, you know, this was 1 4 and this was del 2 f 2 4. This was del 3 f 3 4 equals to, I can write it, there is no need to write this thing. So 1 by epsilon 0, 1 by epsilon 0 J4, right? You see, there is a pattern 1 1 2 2 3 3, but at once you can see that since it is a 4 vector, then there will be another term. You can conveniently add this term del 1 f14 plus del 2 f24 plus del 3 f34 plus del 4 f, what will be? It will be f4, but f44 is 0. So you can add this term 1 by epsilon 0. Okay. If you write this equation in tensorial form, then what will be the form? You can write it del mu if mu equals to j 1 by epsilon 0 1 by epsilon 0 j mu, right? Del mu if mu equals to j mu, and this other equations can be written in the same form. If you perform the other equations, then this will be of the same form. For example, if I write this equation, I am taking the x component only, then this will be written as del 2 the first component x component only. If I take x component, if I take x component, then this will be del 2 cbz, right, minus del 3 cby. First component will be this, minus there is another term del e del cd. If I take x component, then this will be plus del ex by del 4 ex. I'm sorry, this will be del 4 ex. and the right hand side will be 1 by epsilon 0 Jx by C. Jx by C. Right. Now you can write this thing as del 2 F CBZ was the F14. No, I'm sorry, F21. This was F21. F21. And if you observe CBY, so negative of CBY is to be taken, then this will be del 3 F31 plus del 3 F31 plus del 4 F41. I have done it previous. F41 equals to 1 by epsilon 0 Jx means J1 by J1 Jx by C means J1. So in the same way, one term is missing. Which term is missing? You can guess the first term. Del 1 F11 because F11 is 0 plus del 2 F21 plus del 3 F31 plus del 4 F41 equals to 1 by epsilon 0 J1. So again we can write del mu F mu nu equals to 1 by epsilon 0 J nu. So all these equations, the two inhomogeneous equations, which are basically four equations, because the second equation is in vector form. So this consists of three equations. So these four equations can be written as del mu F mu nu equals to 1 by epsilon 0 J. So Maxwell's inhomogeneous two equations, which are basically four equations, can be written in tensorial form like this. You can see this equation is basically four equations because the right hand side one coefficient is not sum over del mu and f mu. So mu coefficient of mu is summed over according to Einstein summation convention. So four terms will be there, but this new term is 1. So if you take nu equal to 1, this is one equation, nu equal to 2, the second equation, nu equal to third equation, nu equal to fourth equation. So basically this equation is a four equation. So Maxwell inhomogeneous equation can be written this way. So up to this, if I summarize, then up to this our progress was very good. We can express continuity equation into four vector notation. We can express Lorentz gauge condition, which is essential condition for potential formulation in four vector notation. We can express wave equation in vector in potential form into covariant form also. And now we have expressed Maxwell's equation, two of the Maxwell's equations into covariant form. Then we are left with only the two homogeneous Maxwell's equations. I am requesting you to do the rest in your own. While you will perform it, you will have no clue. You can't express these equations in this form. For that, an elaborate thinking. That means the tensors has to be transformed. Electric field tensor has to be transformed, and that tensor is called dual field tensor. Why it is called dual field tensor? It will be clear when I will derive this tensor and express Maxwell's homogeneous equations into this nice form. But that will be discussed in the next class. It will be better if you perform the task. If you do the task that I have given, that means from contravariant to covariant field tensor, you can perform on your own hand, and you try to express Maxwell's homogeneous equations in this form. You just try, then you will see where is the difficulty. Then when in the next class I will show you how how your difficulty can be removed. Then it will be graspable to you. You can grasp the matter. এমনি তোমাদের জিনিসটি কঠিন মনে হলেও জিনিসটা মধ্যে একটা সুন্দর প্যাটার্ন আছে। প্যাটার্ন থাকার জন্য তোমার খুব একটা এটা কঠিন মনে হবে না, এবং তুমি once you are acquainted with tensor formulations, যেটা তোমরা ফার্স্ট সেমিস্টারে শিখেছো, টেন্সর নোটেশনটা তুমি জেনে যাও। আর তুমি যদি ম্যাক্সওয়েলস ইকুয়েশন অফ পোটেনশিয়াল ফর্মুলেশন যেটা আগের ক্লাসগুলোতে করা হয়েছে কনফিডেন্ট হও, তাহলে এইগুলো in fact this is very interesting, and these derivations, these performance understanding of these equations will help you in understanding the further higher study when we will study the field theories, quantum mechanics, elementary particle physics. This is four vector notation will help. So today up to this, thank you everybody.